So today is my last day of being off for a period of 6 days, and I start day shift, and I haven't worked day shift in I want to say, I've been doing CNA work for 20 years, and all of it, a huge majority of it, I could say at least 1 year for sure wasn't. And getting up at the crack of dawn in the morning before the sun even rises is just wasn't my goal, one of my goals in life. But let me tell you, I have goals. When I was a child, I always wanted a horse, a swimming pool, and a house. I always drew pictures of that, daydreamed of that, and then I had it. One day I had a house, I had a pool. It wasn't an in-ground pool, but it was above ground pool, but that was a pool. And I had a horse, and I ended up getting divorced like 3 months later after I had all of that. I mean, really? And so then, I had to start making new goals, but because of all of the depression and sadness and poor me that I put upon me, I decided to just not even go through with my priorities. And I forgot about them. And I was lost for years, I could say, a few years. I decided to go back and start drinking because it wasn't my fault, it was his fault, and just got tore up. I quit healthcare because I was in this major accident and got all depressed, and went to go work for a concrete company for a year, and that was the hardest work I have ever done in my life. And I was miserable. I got myself involved in a relationship where I knew from the beginning it was a lie and it was wrong, but I was so stuck in my misery and poor me, and it's everybody else's fault, and then why did it happen to me, and just drank. I mean, the cheapest vodka you could think of, and just lived with my aunt, and my poor kids were there, and the relationship I was in, it was not healthy. And one day I was driving in Seattle traffic on I-5, and you have plenty of time to think when you're sitting in traffic. And I was like, I hate this. I am not happy. I am miserable. I had feelings inside that I hadn't expressed. The person I was with was just a great worker, but a compulsive, manipulative liar, would only tell you what you wanted to hear to get you to be quiet and to believe them. And I just was a dummy for it all. And being poor me on myself, I thought was like, man, I need to clean up. So I kicked that guy to the curb. I kicked the job to the curb. I looked in the paper and applied for whatever healthcare job I could get. I got back into healthcare, helping others, and my life started to change for the better. Mind you, I still was drinking, but this mistake of not helping others and just falling into a funnel of poor me, why me, why is this happening to me, I hate my job. Once I got back into that healthcare field and started helping others and got rid of a job that I couldn't stand, that I hated sitting in traffic for, oh my goodness, stuff started cleaning up. Not completely, because I was still drinking. My living situation wasn't great, but I was able to dump him, move out of my aunt's house, go live in another house, and my kids and I followed along with me. And my friend wanted to sell her house, so we cleaned it up and took care of it. And then within months the house sold, and so then we had to find a place to move again. And I can't complain, because I can't imagine the military people who sacrificed their families, their lives, their priorities to go and defend our country so we could live here, you know, so we could enjoy all of this. And you know what's really sad is that, like, sometimes we're so ungrateful and we don't realize what other people are going through to make things happen for us. And the thing is that we are not going to get anywhere in life if we are not helpful to ourselves and to others. Playing the poor me game, just thinking of yourself all the time. Mind you, sometimes there are times you need to think of yourself, you know, mentally, emotionally. Like me when I was fucking drinking. I needed to think of myself in a way to correct myself, to really clean my ass up. It's nobody else's fault but my own, regardless of how I was raised, who I was raised with, what I was brought up upon. It's unfortunate that we are not taught all of these differences, you know, all of our backgrounds and everything. We don't have to traditionally follow what everybody else was doing or has been doing for so many years, you know. All this fighting and stuff has been going on since biblical times. I mean, biblical times, you know, since that bond and trust was broken. We are back in the apple and snake and Adam and Eve days. We fucked up. And now we all have lessons to learn here on this planet. And if you don't get it right, you're going to keep rewinding and you're going to keep being taught lessons until you learn them. And then you're going to go and you're going to be taught a new lesson. And you're going to be tested. And that is just how it's going to be. Unfortunately, this life, this world that is created, it's like a Monopoly game. And I don't like Monopoly. But I'm going to have to play the game. My daughter was like, she's a millennial. I don't even really know what that word is. And I'm just saying it because I hear other people say it. What, Gen Z, you know, stuff like that. I'm going to say children younger than I. You know, she mentioned, oh, the rich are rich and they don't pay any taxes. You know, I mean, yeah, that's like the goal, you know. You're going to have to pay something, you know, regardless. Just be smarter about it, you know. I love my Louis Vuitton. I love my horse. And I like swimming pools and I love getting tattoos, but I gotta make sacrifices in order to grow. You know, I grew up in the fucking projects. My mom at one time had no car. We were walking and taking the bus, you know, in the projects. You know, government housing. My mom was a stay-at-home mom and somehow was supported by everybody who was helping in the world. Thank you for helping raise me, because I don't know how my mom did it, you know. She didn't have a job for a while. Once we started going to school, she started working at a convenience store. And my mom was always a good worker, but she never like grew out of that. She retired from 7-Eleven, you know. And now to this day, you know, I mean, I've moved 3 hours away from my family because they're all revolved in this circle of, you know, Diet Coke, unhealthy eating, gambling, but they love it and they're comfortable. And, you know, they're not the outdoorsy, horse-loving people. You know, it was even hard to get a cat when I was younger. I'm surprised I even got one. My mom apparently had allergies, but she still sacrificed her allergies for us to have a cat. And they didn't stick around, which was good. They always had to be outside anyways. But, you know, get your priorities right. my main video was to go about goals, you know. Like I said, I drew pictures, horses, house, swimming pool, and I had all that. Then I got divorced, and, you know, I had to make new goals. But I just got tore up and caught in the middle of just being so goddamn selfish. And, you know, we need to stop doing that and start working towards a more healthy, helpful world. You know, all this hate, and I'm so sad about all these masks. And I work in healthcare. I've been doing it for 20 years, you know. I mean, we're all going to get sick regardless anyways. I am an organ donor. I am in a DNR, which means do not resuscitate me. Take my organs if you want them. They're probably contaminated with back years of alcohol. I've been clean now going on December 18th. I had my 5 years clean and sober. I'm so proud of myself. I don't care what you think. And it took me a while to get there. People that I involved myself with and seen and finally grew out of and helped me want to be sober, you know. There are things that I'm so glad that I'm not drunk about, you know. I mean, especially I see all these people on TikTok with their wine and drinking and stuff, and I'm just like, man, I'm so glad I don't waste my money on that anymore, you know. My guy and I we bought some property. We're going to build a house and, you know, continuing to invest. And we've already had an offer on the property that we bought. You know, they want to buy it out cash, right? And we're just like, you know, we're moving out of this state and going to another one so we can continue to grow. And that's our plan, you know. Get out of here, make some money off of, he's going to make some money off of his already property to pay off what we're building, and continue to grow and to share and to show that when you make sacrifices for stuff and things that you really don't need but you like, such as like my Louis Vuitton and my tattoos and stuff, you know, good things come. We're having a hell of a time right now, just like anybody else in the world, you know. Water heater started leaking onto the floor, underneath the boards, so we had to rip up some of the floor and dry it out, have the plumber come. And then this morning the hot water didn't last that long, so we might just have to buy a new water heater after all, you know, while we're trying to get this house built. And then of course, I'm gonna tell you, my guy has he has kids, and he's got child support to pay, and, you know, he has Social Security and some military stuff, and something came up where they missed some sort of payments, so he had some back payments of like $2,000 to pay. And, you know, hey, luckily, you know, he's got it, he'll pay it, you know, and he did already. But they sent a lien on the house, paper on a lien on the house, you know. I mean, waste no time for that. And so there's that. Oh, then the check engine light came on the truck, you know. And then I had the barn Karens here, you know, bitching at me because one fell off, and then the other one was from the other day. Same day I was confronted by 2 Karens, but one incident was from, I was riding back over here by this hill. See this barn? At the end of this barn, and a young horse freaked out when I rode by, and he like kicked the fucking stall door off, and there was 2 other people standing here at this end, and I sprinted my horse over there to go make sure that horse wouldn't run out, because he totally kicked his door off. I could see it, and I just waited for those people to get down there, and they're like, what happened? I was like, I rode by, you know. And so maybe that spooked him, you know. And of course he's a 2-year-old or whatever, you know. Shit happens when you have a horse, okay? You don't know what they're gonna be scared of. It can happen anytime. And so, you know, he got mad. So then the office lady was like, hey, were you running your horse up and down these hills? And I was like, oh my God, really? I was like, man, I mean, there's shit that I haven't recorded that I have dealt with other people, you know. Gary V, thank you very much. You know, when they say that people are mad at you and angry and they have something negative to say, it's not you, it's them. It's them that has a problem, them that has something that's bothering them inside. And I literally stall next to this lady who has a very hard time not saying anything negative to me. I just have a nice day. Sometimes it's very hard for her because she feels like she has to say something that is like, oh, are you going out there? Oh, we're not trying to have anybody ride out in that area. Just like, you know, oh, were you riding? I can't imagine the gossip that's going around about her little lady friend who got bucked off the horse because I had my pop-up barrels out in the arena. I'm waiting for someone to say something on that, and I shouldn't, because it's like, am I calling it to myself? Am I calling these negative Karens? You know, I mean, I really try to keep a smile on my face, and sometimes I feel when I'm smiling, people try to bring me down. It's so fucked up, and it's so true. I hear it from all these entrepreneurs everywhere, you know. Put your hater shades on, like Grant Cardone says. You know, my friend, I want to call her my friend, but she's like, who are you, bitch? Fallon Taylor, my favorite barrel racer in the whole wide world, you know. Embarrassed to say it, but humility is what gets you places and recognized. And Fallon, I love you guys, Fallon and Jesse, and I just, you know, I can't help it. But, you know, she had to turn off her comments so she didn't have to hear to all the negative people and comments and everything, you know. I'm really sad that I deleted my Facebook and my Twitter, and oh, Cody, don't let me forget about Cody, Fallon Taylor Ranch Dressing. I love all your guys' stuff, and you guys are such a great brand, and I hope that my brand can, you know, get recognized someday. But anyway, to hell with all that. I will keep trying, and hopefully you will recognize one day. www.lifeequineleggings.com. If you don't advertise, you're not recognized. LEL is my logo, which my daughter helped me come up with, my abbreviation, and my logo is like a little star. What was I gonna say? Ranch dressing, turned off comments. Sometimes I just want to put my headphones in and I don't want to listen, but I believe my horse is comfortable listening to music, so I always have my phone, you know, music going and stuff. So I'm sure that irritates people too when I come into the barn. They know I'm coming because you can hear my music. I feel like I'm the only female person around here who be jamming out to music all the time, you know, trying just to keep the positive vibes going. And sometimes it's unfortunate that it has to be so hard, you know. But another great thing about where I'm at in life right now and the sacrifices I'm having to take with changing my work schedule and trying to make it work so that my guy can go and build the house and I can help with the kids, and, you know, my employer being so flexible with me switching my schedule and stuff. I'm so grateful, you know. I want to go back to what Gary Vee was saying about the negative people, you know. I unfortunately made a video talking about barn Karens because I'm in an environment that it's just revolved around them, and I really don't know, and I don't know any other place that's closer and convenient for me to stall my horse. That way I could try to avoid that. So I am just trying to deal with what I have to deal with, because it's not much longer before we get our house dried in and we're gonna move in there. I'm gonna share it. I'm gonna show you. We're gonna move into a house that probably won't even have the floor done, you know, as long as it has heat and a roof. We even talked about moving into the tent and like camping, you know, until the house is dried in, and then we're gonna move in there and just work on it little by little, room by room. And I'm gonna transfer my job and work over there because they're hiring too, and you know, make more sacrifices, you know. I had a goal before I met my guy that I wanted to buy a pole barn with a stall so I could have a horse and a single room, you know, and maybe move my mom in sometime or whatever if she wanted to, or park her trailer over there. And, you know, I got so much more than that, you know. And I'm not kidding. Once I quit drawing pictures and stopped writing my goals down, shit slowed down. And I stopped reading too, you know. And then I started trying to gather all this information from other mentors, you know, for my business, because I just felt like I wasn't doing the right thing, getting the right way, and getting on the right path, you know. And I found that I was just overwhelming myself with everything, and I needed to go back to writing down my goals, start reading some books, and of course I go back and I start reading my AA books, and I am starting to write down my goals again every day. And it does make a difference. It's amazing, I gotta tell you. And since I've been opening up those books again, there's stuff in there when I open up that page, I was like, it relates to that day or something that is just like, wow. The messages you get sometimes when you are trying to better yourself and help others is phenomenal. I have to say it's phenomenal, you know. There is some magic in it. And we all have magic in ourselves. We just have to find it, you know. I have learned another word. Patience is a huge one, which I'm not very good at, but I'm getting much better at. Practicing it all the time. And sometimes I wish I had my camera on so you could see my patience when I have to deal with some negative people. And I have this word forgiveness, which I don't want to, but you know, I know that I have to, because you know, what would Jesus do? He forgave us all. He's forgiven me. I'm still here. There are times when I think I shouldn't be here. I have fallen off my horse. I've had 2 major head injuries, and I'm lucky I had a helmet on both times. Both times. And back then I was barely even wearing a helmet, you know. And for some reason on those times I had a helmet on. And luckily I did, because they cracked. Both of the helmets. They aren't sexy. They're not cute. But it is a great example. Protect that noggin, you know. Be careful on what you think and what you're doing, because shit will get fucked up. Shit happens. Yes, it does. And we have lessons to learn. And you gotta protect it, you know. You gotta protect yourself. It's very important. Every time I come here, I have to mentally protect myself. Take deep breaths. I mean, I am in the car a lot talking to this damn video thing in order to help me. And just share stupid shit. Why not, you know? I, from the ghetto, projects and shit. And you can grow out of that stuff, you know. There was a seed planted there. Yep, I'm so grateful I came from that. Shit wasn't handed out to me and all that, you know. I've had some great people around to kind of help me, and luckily I was always, at a very young age, had a paper route job, had a babysitting job. Always liked working, you know. And it always seems like I had a job that was helping other people, except for that goddamn concrete job. I fucking hated that fucking shit. I credit all the men who do that hard work, you know. I can see why some women aren't, us women just aren't built to do some things, you know. And man, that is just the toughest job ever. I'm not kidding. Look, I have boots that I wore when I had a skill saw, Oh my God, a hot saw. I would love to have a hot saw one day. I'll buy myself a hot saw one day. And I don't know what I'm going to use it for, but I loved using that to cut some grooves into the concrete when I was doing concrete work and cutting rebar and stuff. And I have these boots that I love that I bought at a thrift store, and they keep my feet so warm. Well, one day when I was using the hot saw, I was too close. I've had my foot on the bar, and you know, the sparks from the rebar had got onto my boot, and it killed my string. And so what I had handy at the time to use was a string line for concrete. Hey, look how strong that is. That thing's still there. Pretty ghetto, but you know what? My feet are warm, and I'm just gonna use it for horse shit anyway, so why not? But it's a memory I keep tied there, somewhere I never want to go back. And I just laugh. I'm just like, I'm so grateful I had that experience to do some hard ass work like that, you know? You can try it. You might like it. I didn't like it, and I wasn't very good at it, but I am a hard worker, and I'm willing to try to find myself something. I keep coming back to horses, and I love my online business, but sometimes I just, you can't please everybody. It's hard to get attention sometimes for the right things, and that's okay. It's a process. I'm learning. Hopefully someday, one day, I'll find stuff that people will really like, and the thing is just don't give up. Find something that works for you, and just remember you can't do it alone either. But I used to be like, I'll do it all by myself, but you really can't do it by yourself. Nobody does this world by themselves. Nobody. You need gas. You need air. You need food. You don't grow all your own food. You don't grow every single thing. You don't produce every single thing. You don't make plastic, rubber, the clothes you wear. Somebody somewhere made it, and that helped you. So I'm going to post this on my YouTube and just save videos. That's what a lot of mentors say. Just do it. Just start taking action. Start recording. Just push play. Don't be afraid. Do the things that you're scared to do. You don't take risks. You don't go nowhere. You don't do nothing. I have my goals, and it's fucking difficult to get there. It's simple. Just keep doing it. But it's difficult. It's not easy, and that's okay. Anyways, enough of that. Have a wonderful day. I'm gonna go for a little therapy ride with Raja, and you take care of yourself.